can tell you guys right now, my friends, we're definitely not seeing a second season of I'm in Love with the Villainess. And you know what? I think that's completely okay. At the end of the show, I personally, this is just my personal feels, I am completely content on how they ended the show. And I'm completely content on how they ended the final episode of the season. It's been a real rocky road for me as a viewer of this show. And I'm glad that episode 12 was good, and we've had some bumpy times with this show. It's changed its tone, it's changed kind of like the genre or the lane that it should be in. It hasn't done a lot of things well. Writing's been a little clunky at times. When it does try and really do comedy, it does it really, really well. Comedy relief is really, really well. We've just it's been a rough road. We've had some poo poo episodes, and we've had some really great episodes of anime in this show, and I'm glad that at least the final, I think, 3 episodes since the princess was from the other land, since the princess was introduced, I am glad that these episodes have been pretty good. And I think the storyline before the princess showed up was horrendous, and I think that they had like the chimera thing attack and stuff like that. That whole chunk of episodes from like episode 4 to 7 or 4 to 8 or something like that was just really, really bad. And I'm glad that it brought it back. And I know I said this a few episodes ago, but like I wish this storyline with with the sister, with the princess, was longer. And I wish it would have gone deeper into this storyline and kind of like removed the other chimera stuff we got, even if it did kind of like help the story, which it didn't to me. And I thought the whole thing with the brother sister love was just really weird. Like if they would remove that and just made this elongated, like we would have like a real candidate for a really good anime this season. But anyways, I'm not gonna dog on it. Again, this episode was really good. The final episode is really good. I genuinely did like the awakening of Rei this episode. Part of my disdain for her a little bit is like she's so intelligent but so dumb at the same time. And part of my unable to forgive her is like she's not like some kid from Japan, like normal. She's not like some like 15-year-old who hasn't really experienced life, She was a full-fledged like adult, and she still has the mentality or like the thought process of like a teenager and stuff. So that's kind of been some of my disdain with her not being able to kind of really like just say what she wants. Like thankfully the princess called her out on her bullshit, and the princess was able to tell her like, yo, you're just afraid of getting hurt. You're afraid of rejection. And she hit the nail on the head. And I think, again, watching this as like a viewer, watching this as somebody who's, as a viewer of the show, it's like, yeah, that's exactly it. This is exactly what it is. Like all this stuff that she's been doing has just been pushing and pushing and pushing because she's afraid of being real. And like, what if she can't just stick around and watch anymore? What if she can't just fangirl? What if she's not allowed to? What if she loses Miss Claire? What if she, has to see her on the guillotine because, she effed up? What does she do with that information? So she's been so scared to be real with herself. So I was glad to see the princess push her buttons and really kind of get her fired up and eventually use her in-game knowledge to overcome and, get the thing that she wants, which is a door that was open to her that probably would have remained relatively closed before. And one of my big problems with that storyline was she was okay using her past knowledge to like enrich her life and make sure that her finances were stable, but she wasn't. But where she drew the line was like not using that knowledge to like get closer or open the door further for Claire. So I'm glad that she kind of like said like, that's stupid. Like I'm just going to use my knowledge because I have it. That's my God-given gift is I have this knowledge. So just because you have it doesn't mean that the door gets open for you. Now, what's good about it is the door for potential love with Miss Claire was already open because she kind of like busted that door down earlier on in the season. She was just too afraid to walk through it. And it took this princess, to really kind of get her fired up and do it. I also, side note, I also really did enjoy the princess's backstory. I don't think that was part of the original story. Ray doesn't confirm nor deny it, but like I like finding out that the princess had a troubled past for like a 16-year-old, right? Like she's gone through some stuff. She went through brothels and like she was out there power girling, like just real big energy. And I like, kind of seeing her past and what she dealt with and, being in love with the maid and having to lose her and finding herself and like really cool stuff. Ultimately, at the end, I also did really enjoy the fact that the vying for Claire's love came down to a princess and Ray, even though Claire, which they don't acknowledge, Claire was previously in love with Prince, the gray-haired prince before. And then he had all four princes who basically were irrelevant. And it basically came down like to these two girls for her love, as opposed to the princes who were like the main crux of the story before. So I just found that incredibly funny and interesting as well too. At the end of it too, being able to see Ray finally kind of like get that fulfillment and have Claire claim her, essentially, it's like that's what gets her up, that's what gets her fired up. And that was a really cool thing to see as well too. So overall, I would say episode 12 really hit it out the park. I think this was a really great ending. I think for everybody who's loved this from minute 1 to whatever minute episode 12 ended on, from episode 1 to 12, I think you guys ate really good. And I think for those who are like me, who we watched it because like we have to, like we started it, we're gonna finish it kind of thing. I think that the payoff was pretty good here, considering the last 3 episodes were some of the best of this show. I think episode 1 and 2 awesome, and then I think the last 3 episodes were really good too. So it's like I think that the payoff was really good here for those who probably were gonna fall off but stuck with it, or those who maybe dropped it but then came back later, or or who might binge watch it. I think the payoff was really good here. So anyways, final episode, final thoughts. Not the best anime in the world, still about a 7 out of 10 for me at the best. Probably like 6.5 out of 10 if I were being 100% honest. But I do think that the last episode could elevate it even higher than that, 7.5. Probably just 7. It probably elevated it to 7 for me, because the last episode I thought was really good and really kind of closed the story. And if they so happen to reopen it up, later on for a season 2, awesome. If they don't, I think this was good enough. All right, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments. I'll see you guys for next season in, let's see, winter, spring, winter? Starting winter anime? Yeah, I'll see you for winter. Peace.